he just dumps me out of nowhere. Like, he broke up with me by changing his relationship status from in a relationship to single. We went on a date. Well, no. Wow, look at me thinking it was a date. So this is when his boy activity started popping up. He was like, call me daddy. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing you guys something that I've never done before, and it's just going to be a mukbang story time / relationship advice type of thing. Your girl ordered Domino's pizza, and by the way, if you hear noise like in the background, it's just my sister, her boyfriend, and my niece in the living room. But your girl ordered Domino's, so alright, you know, I gave 2 slices to my grandma, so it's not a full pie right now, but I ordered Domino's, so I got cheese pizza, and then I got my favorite part, got some cinnamon twists. I'm eating on my bed because I don't have a table, I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm drinking a country club. It's like the worst setup ever because my soda is literally like on the other side of my bed. I don't even know how I'm gonna drink it. I'm gonna have to like literally reach over it all the time. So I'm going to be eating, and I'm gonna be talking to you guys about my boy story. Yes, your girl has had a boy story. So I'm just literally gonna tell you guys everything that went down, and honestly, grab some food, grab some tea, because it's going to be a wild journey. So then I'm gonna give you guys some relationship advice as well that I learned after that fuckboy experience, and how me and my boyfriend have been together for 5 years and how we've made it work so long. So let's get started. Alright, so let's take it way back to 8th grade. I know you guys are gonna look at me like, oh my gosh girl, you're still salty about something that happened in 8th grade. But it lasted all the way until the middle of high school, so that's why I'm still a little salty about it. Okay, so let's take it back to 8th grade. So I've never done a mukbang before, so I don't know how I'm supposed to talk while I'm chewing and have food in my mouth. By the way, this is banging. So this all started 8th grade. So basically how I met my ex was, in my middle school there were 3 different schools in one building. So I was in one school with my best friends, and then he was in another school. So through certain periods the schools like collided, and like, you know, like when we're going down like a staircase, like they would be going down as well. And also like for breakfast and stuff, like before class starts, all the schools eat lunch in the same place. So my best friend at the time, she a fake one. Let's call her Becky. So Becky had lots of crushes on so many people. She had like little crushes on like people like just by their looks. So one day Becky's telling me, she's like, oh, this is my ex-best friend, by the way, like we're not cool anymore. Becky's telling me, she's like, oh my gosh, there's like this really cute guy that goes to the other school, and I really like him. And I was like, okay, I hope I'm not chewing too loud. I've never done this before, so I'm like sorry if it's disgusting. One day he actually passes by, and Becky's like, oh my god, that's the guy, like that's the guy I like. And I look at him, I don't really think too much of him. Like, I didn't think he was cute. I didn't really think anything of him. I was just like, okay, whatever. So, you know when you're in middle school, and like you send your friend over to tell like your crush, like, oh my gosh, like, I like you, like she likes you. So, Becky had this like whole plan. She was like, okay, I'm gonna add him on Facebook, and then I want you to add him, and then I want you to message him and tell him that I like him. She found out his name through one of our friends that had a boyfriend in that school. Okay, so what happened was, I don't know how this happened, by the way. So she added him, and I think she messaged him, but he added me, and he messaged me. I was like, oh shit, this is a problem. This is a problem because, you know, that's my best friend's crush. So then I don't know what happened, but I ended up telling him, like, no, my best friend, like, she really likes you. I don't know what he said, but he said something like, oh, you know, I don't really like her, like, I'm more into you, like, something like that. I didn't even know that he noticed me. I was like, oh shit, like, what the f is happening? So I was just like, oh my god, like, I've never gotten this attention from a guy before. So I was a little, you know, I was low-key hyped, not even gonna lie, but I was just like, shit, what do I do? So I told our other best friend, Alexa, which is her real name, you know, I love Alexa. She's my bestie till this day. She's like my sister. So me and Alexa were so extra. So we used to see this counselor, and it was basically a counselor where you guys can talk about everything. So you guys can talk about boys, you guys can talk about home problems, literally anything. So me and Alexa, like, I told Alexa, I was like, Alexa, what do I do? Like, he messaged me telling me like he likes me, he doesn't like her, and I don't know what to do. And then Alexa was like, shit, like, what the fuck? Let's go to the counselor. So we go to the counselor. I really hope I don't have like sauce in my teeth while I'm talking. So we go to the counselor, and we're so extra. Like, who does this? We're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, our friend, she liked this guy, but he messaged me first and he likes me instead of her. Like, what do I do? And the counselor was just like, just tell her. So I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just tell her, I guess. So we tell her, and she's actually cool with it. Like, she's like, you know what? I didn't even like him like that. And then, like, 2 days later, she moved on to another guy in that school that had, like, an orange backpack. And, like, she would always call him, oh, my gosh, I have a crush on the guy with the orange backpack. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyways, so I don't know what happened after that. Honestly, everything is a blur. All I know is that me and him started talking. So me and him started talking. We started talking on the phone. We started messaging each other on Facebook. And then we set up a date. So me and this girl from our school, she had a boyfriend that went to his school. He was his friend. So they invited me on a double date with them to the movie theater. So we went to go see The Hangover. I don't know if it's part 1 or part 2. Whatever came out in 2011, that's the one that we went to see. Sorry guys, I have to chew. Okay, so I don't know. We went to see that. I was super late. I'm pretty sure he thought that I stood him up or something. Cause I was like, the movie was already like 30 minutes to an hour in. And, you know, we had our cute little date, whatever. And, you know, I think we were holding hands or something. I don't remember. All I know is after the movie was over, me, the girl, her boyfriend, and my ex, let's call him River. Okay, I hope he never comes across this video. So me, River, the girl, and her boyfriend. After the movie was over, we just like went to chill at the park, and I was like super awkward because I didn't really know him like that. Like, this is my first time really like chilling with him in person. And her, I was friends with her, but I didn't know her boyfriend, and they all knew each other. So I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so awkward. Like, help me, get me out of here. And yeah, I was like super quiet, and she's like super funny. To this day, she's like really cool. So she was like so outgoing, and I was just like, I don't know any of you guys. I feel awkward. But, you know, that was my first date ever, because I've never had a boyfriend before then. Never had a kiss, nothing. So I was like fucking awkward, like for real. So then after that, whatever, all is dandy, and then we ended up dating somehow. We started dating, I think we started dating June, and then I think I remember the date exactly. No, we started dating, was it May? We started dating May or June. So this is where shit starts hitting the fan. So thinking about this is kind of triggering me. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, you know, whatever. We're all fine and dandy. We're hanging out. I had my first kiss with him. It was like so awkward. I didn't want to kiss him. And then I remember him texting me like he was mad because I didn't want to kiss him. And then I ended up kissing him the next time. So whatever. That happened. And then everything was cool. We're hanging out. And out of nowhere, a month and a half later, he's just like, oh, and my bad. He told me he loves me. He texted me, he was like, I love you. And I was like, don't say it unless you mean it. And he said, no, I mean it, I mean it. And I was like, okay. I love you too, I guess. Like, I don't know what love was at that age. I was like, what? What are you talking about? But I still said it anyways, because I thought I loved him. So then, you know, flash forward a month and a half later, he just dumps me out of nowhere. Like, you know what he did? You know why I'm still salty about it even after all these years? Aside from everything else that you guys are gonna hear that he did to me, he broke up with me by changing his relationship status from in a relationship to single. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? When I saw that, I was like, what the f is going on? So then I messaged him, and then he's just telling me like, you know, I'm not really ready to be in a relationship. Like, you know, I feel like I'm still young. I just want to be single. And yeah, I don't think I'm ready to be in a relationship. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? And I was so heartbroken. I'm telling you guys, like, this is so embarrassing. But after he broke up with me, I was like in my bathtub with my lights off, listening to Johnny Cash. I don't know if you guys have heard the song Hurt by Johnny Cash. It's like the most depressing song ever. And I was just in my bathtub, in the dark, just blasting that song. I brought my speakers in there, and I was blasting that song. I was, like, so destroyed. I was like, my God, like, damn, you gonna break up with me like that? It's crazy. So then, whatever. That was over the summer before going into high school. I'm so sorry if, like, my chewing is annoying. I don't know how to do this. But my soda looks so good, but it's so far. I'm pretty sure we started dating May or June, and we broke up July, like the middle of July. Now you guys are probably like, girl, that's not a fuckboy. Like, you know, like, why are you still like salty about it? That was like years ago, and you only dated for a month and a half. Yeah, wrong. Okay, this is where it starts getting wild. So after that, you know, he stopped talking to me for like 3 months or something. So all I remember is right when I started school, so like September is when he started talking to me again. So that was 9th grade, my freshman year. So out of nowhere, like boys do all the time, they just hop into your life once you're getting over them. He did this to me like 20 times in 3 years. Like, he would leave, like completely ghost me for like a month, come back for like a month, ghost me for a month, come back for a month, and it just kept going on for 3 years. And you know what was so stupid? Every time I would post a new selfie out of nowhere, he would pop up. And then, you know, what I'm gonna tell you would happen, and then he would ghost me again. I'm like, damn, all I need to do is post up a selfie, because I would post a new selfie like every month or so back then. So I was like, are you serious? So anyways, now, I don't know how I'm gonna get into this with you guys, because I'm an idiot, and I let myself get played, but you know, you live, you learn. So, me too, oh my gosh. So he basically had me on a yo-yo, basically. And I guess you could call, after that, I guess we became friends with benefits, if you guys, like, we could call it that. I don't know. I didn't know that's what it was, but apparently that's what it was. So, we became that. So, this leads me to a 3-year rendezvous, right? Is that the correct word? I don't even know. This leads me to 3 years of pure, like, manipulation and just, like, me being an idiot, basically. So, this is when his boy activity started popping up. So, like I told you guys, he would leave my life, come right back in, leave my life, come back in. Like, right when I was getting over him, he would come right back in. But I feel like this is the worst part. So, when that happened, we started talking again. And we had a friend. Let's call him, it was his friend, but then I became really close with him. He's like super tall. He's like 6'5", 6'6". So, let's call him Giant, just for the purpose of this story time. So, Giant lived in Jersey. We lived in the city. So, me and River, we lived literally down the block from each other. So, we would basically just hook up in the parks around our neighborhood. And I didn't want to do it. Well, I mean, I can't say like he forced me, but like, now that I look back on it, I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? But we would just hook up. It was bad. So, we would go to Giant's house in Jersey. We would like take the bus. We would walk to the bus station. We would take the bus. We would go to, oh, I was gonna say his real name. We would go to Giant's house. Giant had like a furnished basement, so there he had like a big screen TV. He had movies. He had PlayStation, Xbox, all of that. So We would go, we would watch movies. Literally, he was acting like we were in a relationship. So he would hold my hand. He would call me baby. He would be so sweet. He would call me beautiful and all this stuff. And I'm just, in my head, I'm like eating it all up. I'm like soaking it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like he really likes me. Like even though you broke up with me and like now you're like just looking up with me, but you know, you really like me. Idiot Nicole, why? Like, why Nicole? So we would hang out and then we would leave really late. So we would take the bus really late. And then after that, we would go to the park. What would we do in the park? Fool around. And it was just like this cycle. And then we went on a date. Well, no. Wow, look at me thinking it was a date. So naive. Oh my god, I said his real name. So me, him, and Giant, we went bowling one day. And, you know, I felt like it was a date. We were holding hands. He was calling me baby. You know, our little screen names, like, his name was Daddy. Such an idiot. And then, I keep trying to say his real name. And then, what's his name? Giant's name, he put Poppy. And then my name was Taco. I'm the little bowling. So, while we were bowling, sitting on his lap, holding hands, literally everything. And it felt like a real relationship. And I guess that was like part of his like little manipulation on me. But I forgot to mention, so while this was happening, he's 2 years older than me. So when I was 14, he was 15, and when I was 15, he was 17. So this lasted until I was 15. So every time we hung out, it was just to hook up, basically. And we never had sex or anything. Like, I'm like so thankful. I'm like, thank you for not doing that, because I feel like I would have regretted that till this day. So I'm so thankful I never did that, because oh my god, just thinking about this making me nervous. Like I would have been a completely different person right now. So the messed up part is that he knew how I felt towards him, and I was so young, so I feel like he was just like using that to get what he wanted, you know what I mean? And when I say hook up, you guys, I mean like hook up other than that thing, you know? That's what I mean by hook up. I'm not gonna get too graphic. So some days he would like message me like, oh come on, let's go chill. And I was like, okay, let's go. Girl, I would shave, I would get ready, do my hair. Last minute, he tells me, oh no, forget it. And he did this like 10 times. I was just like, what are you doing to me? So the worst part, I feel like, is that he knew my feelings towards him because I told him, but he just didn't care. You know what I mean? And I think that's what was like the most messed up. And like the most fuckboy thing was like, I remember one day we were video chatting because me, him, and Giant video chatted all the time. So we were like on Omegle and stuff in Skype. So we were video chatting one day, and Giant had this habit of falling asleep while we were video chatting. I don't know. He's a weirdo. So he had that habit. So one day, Giant fell asleep. This fucking guy, he had like a whole daddy kink or something. I don't know. He was like, call me daddy. I keep saying his real name. So River was like, call me daddy. And I was like, Giant's asleep. Like, weird. But then he was like, just do it. And me reluctantly, I can't speak, reluctantly, what the heck? Guys, when I was little, I only spoke Spanish for a while, when I was like 1. So I'm having trouble pronouncing words. Reluctant, oh my god. Some days my Spanish accent comes out, it's like so, oh my gosh. Whatever, I'm not wanting to, but I did it anyways to make him happy. I said it. He just had like this stupid smirk on his face. Ugh, I wish I could punch him right now. It's just like, nasty ass. Oh, and of course, he asked for names. Duh, that's what every boy does. What did I do? He changed a lot. And this is when I was gonna say Tumblr, when Tumblr was like super popular. So he just got into Tumblr. He got into like this indie hipster type of phase, whatever. And one day we were together, like literally after hooking up. We were just walking home. And he was like, I wish I could find those girls, like the girls that you see on Tumblr with like really nice style, really pretty. And in my head, I'm just like, you just hooked up with me, like, and you're telling me this? And back then, like, I had a completely different style. Like, I didn't have any style at all. And he's part of the reason why I got into fashion, which sucks, but I mean, I'm grateful for it because now your girl knows how to dress. But anyways, yeah, back then I was just like, you know, like, how did people dress in 2012, 2013? Like, just chill, casual, laid back. Didn't really think about my outfits. So literally after he said that, right after he was just with me, I was just like, wow. So I started feeling the need to change myself for him because he would always tell me that. He would always be like, I just want like a girl like those Tumblr girls. He was like super obsessed with like girls with blonde hair. He was basically obsessed with white girls. Basically. That's why I hated myself for a while. Just wanted a girl like blue eyes and an indie hipster style. So then I started changing myself. I started listening to indie music. I started dressing more like hipsterish. You know, back then how hipster was like a big thing because of Tumblr. So I started dressing more hipsterish, whatever. And I was just really trying to make him want me, which sucked. It sucks. It sucks when you gotta change yourself for somebody to like you. So basically, he would keep doing the whole yo-yo thing. Like, he would come into my life, I'll get over him. I mean, he'll come into my life, he leaves, I get over him, he comes back, I'm back on him. He kept doing that for a long time. I'm telling you, for 3 years. So I got to a point where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, girl, you gotta have some respect for yourself, because every single time he would come back in, I would come crawling right back. So one day, I was at my friend's Alexa's house, and you know, we were just chilling, and I posted a selfie that day, I think, and he came out of nowhere and he messaged me, and whatever, we're having a conversation, and then I remember he said something like, oh, like, I want to lose my virginity. I was like, oh, okay, I'll find you somebody. Like, I'll find you a girl or something. He was like, no, you know, I want to lose it to somebody that I know. And in my head, I was like, it ain't gonna be me. So he just kept like trying to convince me, basically. I was like, no, it's like not happening. Like, I'll find you somebody, because this was at the point where I was getting over all his little games, and I was just like, forget it. Like, no, like, I'm over it. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. Whatever. And then I don't know what happened. I think we started talking again because I'm an idiot. Things basically ended because he messaged me and he was like, yeah, I think we gotta end like our whole little situation that we have going on, because he was going to college upstate, and he was saying like, yeah, like, I found this girl and I really want to get serious with her, blah blah blah, so I think we should end things. I was like, okay, alright. And then I gave him like a whole paragraph of like how I felt, because like I felt like he was using me all this time and all this, and he didn't care. He literally did not care. Didn't give me an apology, nothing. And I think that's why I'm still salty to this day, because I'm just like, all I want is for him to acknowledge what he did to me, how bad he played me, because you guys have to remember, yeah, I was doing things willingly, but I was being manipulated and I was young. You know, I was a little kid. I was like, what, 14, 15? Like, I was young. 13, 14, 15. And it was like my first serious romance. So I was like so attached. You know what I mean? And like, I was like obsessed with him because he had like green eyes and tan skin and freckles. He was Dominican, by the way. But he acted like a total, like, I don't know. He acted like a total indie hipster guy. So I feel like that's why I'm still salty to this day, because I'm just like, damn, all I want is an apology from you. Like, just like message me and like let me know, like, hey, you know, I'm really sorry for the way I played you, basically. And he did the same to another girl while he was doing the things with me. Because I saw, like, on Twitter, she posted, like, screenshots that he had sent her. He was basically saying the same shit that he was saying to her to me. So I was just, like, so heartbroken. So heartbroken. I hated myself. So, I think that happened to me. I think it was karma. I think it was. Because now this is where we get into my current relationship with my boyfriend of 5 years. So, you guys know that me and him are high school sweethearts. So, me and him fell in love 3 months into 9th grade. So, December, we were in love. But, you know, the whole thing with my ex-boyfriend was going on. So, I didn't want to be in a relationship with my current boyfriend. Let's just call him Babe. So, I didn't want to be in a relationship with Babe. Because, you know, I was still, like, attached. You know, it was just a recent breakup and he was still playing me. So, I was like, you know, like, I don't want to be in a relationship. And Babe knew that. And this is the thing. So me and Babe were in love. We were talking to each other every day. He was my best friend. He is my best friend. I told him everything. You know, like, we were basically in the talking phase for like 3 years while all this was going on. But I always made sure, because I would never want anybody doing anything behind my back. So I always told him what was going on with my ex. Like, I always told him everything, literally even down to the details that I'm sure he did not want to know. So he knew. It wasn't like I was like hiding it or playing him or anything. So he knew what was going on. But the reason why I say it's karma is because here, Babe is a good guy, and I'm over here getting my heart broken and being played because of my own stupidity. So the whole time this was happening, Babe is hurting because obviously he loves me and I'm the one that he wants to be with. So he's hurting really bad, and to this day I still feel guilty about it. But at the same time, I told him, I was like, you know, this is going on. I think you deserve better than me. Honestly, I feel like you should move on. Like, if you want to move on, you should move on, because this is like a bad situation, you know? And I don't want to hurt you. But he decided to stay. And yeah, that still gets to me to this day. I still feel guilty about it. So, you know, Babe is trying to win me over from him, basically. And me and Babe talked about this like last month or something, or a couple months ago. And he was like, it hurt me because he would go out of your life and then me and you would finally start getting serious, and then he would come right back into your life and just take you away from me again. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that really sucked. Like, it sucks when I think about that. So, you know, this went on for 3 years. So me and Babe being in love, he's not entertaining any other girls. He's just on me, but I'm on my ex. And, you know, Babe got sick of it. Babe was just like, I'm not going to just always be there, you know? Like, you're going to keep doing these things. I'm not just always going to be there, you know? So I was just like, what do you mean? And so basically what happened was Babe cut me off. So not only was I cut off by the boy, I was also cut off by the guy that I actually was in love with and loved. So, you know me, I was a little heartbroken. I was going crazy. I was basically begging him. I was just like, you know, like, I'm sorry. Like, please, I'll change. Like, we'll get serious. Because I didn't want to get serious in a relationship for 3 years. So, I was just like, this is really good. So, he basically cut me off, and we stopped talking for 3 months. That was junior year. We stopped talking. That was my worst moment in life. I went into a deep depression because he was my best friend, you know? He's the one that I talk to every single day about everything, about my ex, about my feelings, about my life, everything. And I wrote a lot of sad poems. I even wrote like this really, really sad poem about him. And I read it out loud in class because we were like sharing our poems. And I was like literally looking at him. But yeah, so he cut me off for 3 months, whatever. And then out of nowhere, he stops me in the hallway. And he's like, I've been thinking about you, you know? And I miss you. Like, I want to get serious with you. And of course, I was ecstatic. I was like so nervous. I had butterflies in my stomach. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to let him like get away this time. Like I'm not going to ruin my chance with him because I loved him. You know, regardless of everything that happened, I really loved him. I still love him. So after that, he basically gave me an ultimatum. He was like, you're either 100% serious in a serious relationship with me, or you're just gonna, we just can't be friends, we can't be anything. And I understand where he's coming from, because for 3 years, you know, he was basically going through what I was going through. So like what I was going through with my ex, he was going through with me, which was so fucked up, honestly. So I was just like, yes, like of course, like I don't want to lose you. Like you know what it is to fall in love with somebody 3 months into 9th grade and all these years later still be in love with them. Not only that, but like all those years he was just waiting for me. Like he didn't entertain any girls, any other girls, nothing. And that meant a lot to me, you know, and he was always there for me. And we talked every single day. So I was like, yes, like that's it. Like I'm officially with you. Like I'm sorry for everything. And yeah, that's basically how me and my boyfriend started dating. So me and my boyfriend, you know, we're best friends. We would hang out all the time. I just didn't want to be in a relationship. I practically friend zoned him, even though I actually had feelings for him and I loved him. So, you know, after that, when we first started dating, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of people are like, how have you been in a relationship for so many years, you know, like almost 5 years, and not get bored of the person? And honestly, honestly, when we first started dating, it was not perfect. There was a lot of trust issues. There was a lot of resentment, you know? Like, I, on one hand, had guilt because of everything I put him through, and I thought that I didn't deserve him. I thought that he deserved better. And he, on the other hand, had resentment because, of course, of everything I put him through for all those years. So, we fought a lot. We had a lot of problems when we first started dating. And we were young. So, when we first started dating, we were, 16? So, obviously, like, we're immature. So, we did a lot of stupid stuff. He, like, messaged this girl, and he said some stupid shit to her, like, I'm still a little salty about it, not even gonna lie, but I'm over it now. But he said something to her, and I was just like, you don't say that to another girl when you're in a relationship. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But yeah, so we had so many problems when we first started dating. But how we fix that and like stay together even after all these years is communication. Communication is so important. I always kept it 100 no matter what. So everything that was happening with my ex, I always kept it 100 with him. When we started dating, everything that I was feeling, I kept 100 with him. And that's how I've always been. Like, even to this day, I tell him literally every single thing I'm feeling. Because, you know, people aren't mind readers. You're not going to know how the other person is feeling or what's happening. I feel like that's why a lot of relationships end so quickly. Because people don't talk about it. Just talk about it, even if it's gonna get the other person mad, but at least you let it out, and now they know how you're feeling. I think what saved our relationship, for sure, was communication. Like, communication was key in our relationship, because we had a lot of bottled up feelings that we had to talk to each other about. And I feel like since he fought so hard for me, and he waited so long for me, he wasn't just gonna let things go easily, you know what I mean? So, my advice to you guys, is if you want a long-term relationship and you want to be with the person for years and years, you guys have to let go of everything that happened in the past, and you have to start fresh. You have to start a fresh page. If you hold on to whatever the person did in the past, or you know, whatever they did that you didn't like, or they messed up, like, unless they cheated. If they cheated, girl, bounce. But if it's like just immature stuff that teenagers go through, young adults go through, you guys have to learn how to leave that in the past and just move forward from it. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. If you're like, if you don't trust them, if you're holding on to the past, it's just not gonna work. Another thing to keep your relationship, to go out on dates, flirt with each other, you know, like, talk to each other about your goals, what you want. Like, you guys want to get married, you guys want a future together, like, have fun, be young. Like, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you have to be like at a standstill, you know what I mean? And I feel like regardless of everything that we did to each other, like, I feel like knowing now that we make one mistake like that again and the other's just gonna bounce, because that's how we feel. We're just like, you know, we do something like super dumb, like the other person, like, I'm out. He says the same. I'm like, I'm out. You do some stupid shit. Like, by stupid shit, I mean something like cheating or shit like that. You know what I mean? So the fact that, like, you know that if you make one big mistake, you could lose the person forever. That's how we learn. That's what me and him talked about. Because, you know, I still have my insecurities sometimes. You know, I'm like, you know, you probably want another girl. You probably want a girl with big boobs, you know? Like, why are you even with me? Probably, you know what I mean? And he tells me, he's just like, I don't care about nobody else. I care about you, you know? You know, like, I'm not going to do anything stupid to lose you. And I feel like that communication really helps because, you know, I tell him how I feel because I'm super insecure about my small boobies. So I tell him how I feel about it. And he reassures me. Otherwise, I would be driving myself crazy. I would just be like, you just want a girl with big boobs, huh? You wish I had big boobs, don't you? But whatever, that's like a personal issue. I'm a little crazy. But yeah, like, that's honestly my advice. Like, oh god, that looks so wrong. But yeah, that's honestly my advice. Like, communicate with each other, communicate. And just make sure you guys have the same values. Like, you don't want to be with a guy that cheats. You know what I mean? Like, if he thinks that, like, my boyfriend was like, I believe in one woman for one man. Whatever. So you gotta figure out what the heck your boo believes in. Because if he's gonna cheat on you, girl, just bounce. Like, forget about that. If it's, like, just petty little drama, I feel like people are too quick to break up with each other. If it's just something petty, just work it out. Talk it through. You know what I mean? Like, you guys gotta talk about it. If not, like, that's why everybody breaks up nowadays, especially in young relationships. Because people do one thing, they're like, I'm out. And it doesn't work that way, you know? Like, if you want a long-term relationship, you have to really work for it. Like, it may look easy when I say, oh yeah, I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years, we're high school sweethearts, but no, like, we went through so much together that I feel like at the end that just glued us closer together. And of course, I still feel guilty about what I did. I'm sure he feels guilty about some of the things that he's done. But we just moved past that, and, you know, now we're in a happy relationship for almost 5 years, and, you know, that's the way things should be. I'm going to get my soda because I am literally, I've been dying of thirst right now. Now we're happy. We're a happy little family. We have a dog named Cooper. He helps me with my business. It's basically our business now together. Like, we're gonna be business partners. He helps me with my YouTube. He encourages me every day. And just telling each other that you love each other every day, and just, like, reminding each other why you love them is, I feel like, is so important as well to keep a long-term relationship. By the way, guys, this is Country Club. It's like a Dominican soda. It tastes like, I don't know if it's raspberry or cherry, but it's so good. So if you guys like this video, please oh my gosh, I'm a mess. If you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, follow me on all my social media, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.
So spend more time with my friends.